Hey, this is me, Mentuhotep. I am Mentuhotep. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to express why does it always feel like you have to do something like standard? Get back in. Yo, the only thing that really matters is the immediate circles that's around you because we're set up that way. Think of it like the solar system in the sense of the sun is in the center of the universe, all in that system, and you have neighboring planets. And those neighboring planets are personalities or planets that are pretty much responsible for certain energies that comes out through the person that's living. So in this case, it will be a family, right? So I'm gonna use myself, obviously, because this is what it's about. So in a system where there are like personalities, like energies, consciously, because of the leveling or understanding of themselves, their vibrancy, their combination of elements, combinations of I would say, for lack of better words, like a baggage, because that would be an easier way for people to see, because everyone has a baggage, a luggage, something they have to carry, a load. Now, in that load, there's magic, because the one who's controlling it, the personality that's actually experiencing themselves, they're experiencing themselves in a certain dimension. And within that dimension, they're bonded, restricted, and not having knowledge of self allows restriction to continue causing stress. And the stress will come out. It has to come out because it's still energy. You don't keep it in. So that stress that comes out, it will come out in a vocal way. It will come out in any form of action. But your tongue, truthfully, is your action. Your heart is your words, your thoughts. So if you pay attention to your neighboring personalities or your neighboring planets, we still need one another because we are all of the same matter, of the same qualities, of the same substance. And ideally, because the question hasn't been asked before, well, why are there neighboring planets? Are they just there to look at symbolically, just to identify and say this planet here is responsible for a certain amount of gas, and the correlation of this planet when it spins around in its orbit cycle, and the neighboring planets, which is aligned with the sun, which also provides light, sound waves, and life. So when these things are all in alignment, then you start saying to yourself, well, what is this new experience that's happening? All the becoming experiences is really for you to experience consciousness. The consciousness of knowing that we are here, not for participation towards someone else's idea of a matrix, an institution, which is imitating the natural order of things. It's really clear as day. Your neighboring people are the people closest to you. And a lot of us, we don't even know how to start with the one that's inside of us. And I'm just trying to break it down to give you options. And the best option is to look in the mirror. You look in the mirror and you start asking yourself the right questions. Who am I? I tell you, that question starts off right. Why? Because that will be the focus. When you ask the questions, the answer will appear. It will appear in so many different formats. So you don't even have to worry about looking for one way. It'll come in all ways. And you have to be serious about it too. Sincerely, knowing that that's the spot and that's the space that you need information for yourself. Who am I? And you see, normally when you feel the energy of that question being asked, there's a whole sensory that's happening while you're asking. And this is also the same mistake most scientists, when they're observing using scientific instruments. And remember, science is just a way to see spirituality, right? And spirituality is unseen science. So they're using these tools, these equipments, but what they're forgetting is that they're observing something that's already in motion. So while they're observing and fixated on the thing that's in motion, the connection to the thing that's moving and the one that's witnessing, the one that's a part of it all, is not accurate as it can be. So they fall into this complex of being stuck, looking outside themselves. And then the most important connection, which gives them the truth or light of experience, they can't be a narrative for. Why? Because simply they're focused on the thing outside. So for you, for us, for me, all you have to do is say, hold on. If I look in the mirror and I ask that question, who am I? And I feel the question, I feel the energy, I feel effects, because I'm slowing time down, meaning I'm listening and I'm looking for what I am asking of. When you start bringing those bridges together and you start to connect it, then you start to understand, hold on, I am the one with the answer. Who am I? If you just minus away the descriptive titles and all these confusing categories they place us in, derogatory statements which they've been creating all the time, it's just energy, ignorance. If you really put that to the side and just study your own decisions you've made, and you say to yourself, well, what's the structure and how I came to making this decision? Is there a formula which I am myself that I'm instituting that matches? It's a serious thought. And I understand a lot of people don't know how. So this is my presentation. This is how I'm beginning. I'm complex, but so what? So is life. But this is a way to help, like provide information that most people don't have the time out for themselves to focus in, tune in, ignore some of these lower vibrations that are just simply of its own. But if you know it's low vibration, then you know exactly how to fly above it and seek the higher option. And that's always the becoming process. We're growing, growth, and diligence. Most important, it's the main part to this. It's called Maya, but for lack of better words, I'll speak it as truth, justice, order, harmonious balance, righteousness, and reciprocity. And each one of these elements, which is 7, all coordinates. You can't take one without the other. They're all together. And each one of them have an important message, each word, each principle. Every decision that you make should be in correspondence with each 7 element that was just mentioned. This is truly the way to go. However, leadership and exemplification is what I can do. So this is it. In the meantime, peace. Yeah.